Well, hi, good morning, and thank you for joining me. Here it's July 29th. It's getting hotter every day here. It's going to be pretty hot and uncomfortable here today, in fact. So, with this radio, I think what I want to do is stick it back in this cabinet and give it a run with an antenna and check the dial accuracy and just the performance of the radio overall, because I think it's good to go already. So that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna set that up. Okay, see that cat down there? Shadow, Shadow. Yeah, she never responds to her name. So last night about just about midnight, I was just getting ready to go to bed. And my wife says, "Oh, I can smell a skunk, and our cat is still outside." And I went to the door. I opened the door, and in came our skunked cat. That cat there. And from there, the poor cat ended up in the shower with me with some special skunk soap. Poor thing. Yeah, well, she's normal today, but her left eye was swollen out like crazy last night from a skunk. Yeah, so see, she doesn't want to go out today. I'm not going out there. There's skunks out there. Yeah, okay. Yes, some excitement here. My wife gets on the internet. Oh no, the internet says we have to take him to the vet. Yeah, if you take your cat to the vet, take your wallet with you. Okay, now, so I've cleaned this up. I cleaned up really nicely. This particular one, because it can be removed, you can imagine that they painted it with very, very good paint, and you can clean the back of this without too much risk. There's no paint on the front at all. Some of these, not this type, but other radios, the dial markings can be so fragile that if you just touch them, they fall off. So you want to be really careful, because this is one way to wreck a radio, is ruin the dial plate. That pretty much ruins the radio. So let's put this in. There we go. Then there's an index marking right in the middle here, which I'll just move to index the plate, but obviously we could shift it back and forth for a little bit of poor man's alignment if necessary. So the switch is off, and we want to be on the broadcast band to start, and we're going to start at the low end. You can see I've put the pointer back on. It seems to end right at the end of the scale here where you'd want it to end. Very good. A little bit of a wobble in the pointer. You can hear it banging on the back of the glass here too. So the pointer is pretty flexible on how you set it into the clip down there. You can set it forward a little bit left or right also. Another poor man's alignment. Can be done that way, I guess. Okay, so we're plugged in, and the antenna is connected and switched on. And did I screw the light bulb back in? I hope I did. It's pretty hard to get at. No, I did not screw the light bulb back in. Okay, so while this is warming up, can't even see it. Yeah. So good thing is I have not screwed this back into. I have not screwed the chassis back in yet. Scratchy. It's a scratchiness. So this is 590, and you can see it's at about 630 here. So it's off by quite a bit. This is probably 640. This is 680. 820 Hamilton. So the reception's good. That's not too far off of 820. 865. 860 rather. $14.30, almost 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it's all out a bit. But you could find the station you're after, that's for sure. It's not so far out you can't. The sensitivity on that is very good. Now we'll go to the next band. Next band, we're not likely to pick anything up. It's 5 down to 1.8. Just a bunch of noise, mainly. This time of day, certainly. Okay. Just going to be a bunch of noise. Okay, and we're going to go up the next band. So, starting at 5, I'm going to work our way up to 16. We'll probably pick stuff up in here. Capacitor kind of shorted out at the end here. Very scratchy. Wow, I didn't notice that before. Why so scratchy? Very scratchy. Turn the volume up pretty high.
You just said the magic word there, so just hold that thought. I want to hear about these opportunities.
It's a very strong station here. This should be 9330. 8, 10.
His stated purpose for marriage is that the couple become one flesh.
Must be 9 right there. So it's a little high also. I think, well, wait a minute, 9 there. No, it's way low, because it should be up here. Hey, what's he doing there?
Look for the mathematics of marriage.
That's probably, one of these is the image and the other is the real signal. Which one's stronger? This one sounds a little stronger. The pointer moving around with the string. The pointer's doing back and forth like this. So I change the tension on the string. Hard to tune up in the high end here. Oh, that devil. He's making trouble. The all-powerful God can't get rid of him for some reason. I don't know why that is. Why is that? Can't he just, hey, badness gone? Well, that would ruin the game. So a couple things I noticed. One is this hum. You can really hear it there. Not sure what I can do about that. The lack of volume on the shortwave band. The frequencies seem to be shifted a little to the right on both the broadcast band and the shortwave band. What I'm asking myself is, can I really improve this radio much? And that's a good question to ask the coffee cup. So I'm going to go and discuss this with the coffee cup here.
It wouldn't be armed, but in this case, because it was
officers, police officers, they did have weapons.
Okay, don't know what she's talking about, but I think maybe a couple things are worth doing here. Most of the alignment actions are done from above. You can have this radio in its cabinet, and the alignment items are along here. Now that excludes the IF. The IF you can align from the top here, but you got to get underneath to do the lower slugs in these transformers. So I have to pull the radio out, but is the IF off? The radio's working pretty well, so that's what I want to find out next. I want to find out if the intermediate frequency transformers are tuned properly. And the way to do that, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pass a IF frequency signal into the antenna and hear it come out the speaker and determine what the frequency is of the IF that way. Okay, I'm going to turn this way down here to, whoops, here, 455, so put it just a little bit above. Just want to dial in a frequency and hear a tone. Let me put on the it's a 1000 hertz tone being sent to the radio. There we go. It's a very low signal. Probably won't hear it. Yeah, too low. Let's try this. Okay, one more time. Nice and smooth. I would say the top is probably about there, 457. That's, that's really, I think this thing is good enough. Maybe what we can't, I think the IF is good enough, especially with the radio performing okay. I think what we can do is we can move the local oscillator frequency. We'll do the alignment of the broadcast band, and that's what we need to do. So we'll get ready to do that. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this one just by ear rather than put a meter on it, so it's not the best way to do it. But so here's all the adjustments here, and they're all through these holes over here, and they're all flathead screwdriver accessible. I'm going to try this little screwdriver here, and what else have we got? So we've got the short wave number 2 oscillator over here, hidden over here, and that's all. That's the only one that's not in this row. So I'm just kind of interested in doing the broadcast band, at least at first. So you have broadcast oscillator 1600, broadcast oscillator 600, broadcast antenna. So we got three here to do for the broadcast. So I'll start with the 1600. I've already set my signal generator to 1600. I'll tune the radio. To 1600. Broadcast band. 14, 15, 16 right here. Don't hear anything. 1530, so we want it to go at 16. Turn down the signal strength, turn down the volume a little bit. Now, which one is it? 1600, the second one in. That would be this one. Just get the screwdriver set here. Okay, screwdriver's in. Oh my gosh, this isn't easy to do. think. Make sure I go on the right one here. I wonder if there's some shock potential. I have my hand on the chassis. Oh boy. Okay, I'm in. Best thing to do, you know. I shouldn't have done this. I should make sure this is tuned to 1600. That's where it is. And I should use the signal generator here. I don't have to look at the dial. Okay. There it is. We want it here. A little more. Get a little more juice. Here. Okay, turning that. There we are. That's a 1600. 100 done. Now we go down to 600 and adjust what they call the pad adjustment. The padder. Oh, we got to deal with that stuff too. 600. So 550, 680 here. Yeah, what's all that scratchiness in there? 600. So we go to 600. Hello, radio. Did I turn it? I didn't turn it down. Hey, there's the radio here. There's a very strong signal. What's happened? Something has happened. What is that? Didn't have the volume up. It's kind of weird. What's happened here? Down. Whoops, not right off. That's definitely the band. This was picking up stations here just a minute ago. Why would it not pick up my signal generator, which has got a whopping signal coming out of it? Well, I've changed bands. Sometimes the output varies tremendously on this signal generator. Let's check. No, output's good. So this is a very strong signal being sent over here. Come on, radio. What's with you? It's the capacitor. It's the capacitor shorting. Woo, woo. How'd it get so bad? Didn't do that when I was tuning the radio. What happened to it? Well, we're gonna have to deal with this problem here. As much as I don't want to bring the chassis out right now, I want to continue using the front dial. So I think what it is it's bad ground connections. The rotating part is actually grounded, and it's grounded through sliding contacts. So as you rotate it, there's a sliding contact with a bit of a spring to it. And a little hard to see. You have to look for them in here. Different capacitors done a little bit differently, of course. Blast it with some light here. Hardly a blast. So I'm looking for them. I can't see anything here, so but I see maybe give it a dose up here. Try to get one back here if I can. Seemed like did I do anything to it? Don't think so. So the problem could be actual plate contacts. I didn't spray the stuff into the right spot. It's getting better, you know. You just can't tell if anything's coming out of it. There's just about almost nothing coming out of this. I'm against this product. Well, that got some stuff on there for sure. So if it's not that grounding slide connection, it could be the plates are accidentally contacting each other, and we need to look at that possibility. I got to bring this out of the chassis at this point. Too bad. Got to come out. You got to come out, buddy. We got to fix this capacitor thing. Okay, so you can see I have a camera sitting here looking right at the capacitor. We're going to look at the plates and try to spot any that might be touching or rubbing or just anything we can spot in here by looking at it. So here we go. Now if you notice that the plate on the left is bent out, and that would be on purpose. That would have been in the factory in an attempt to make the dial pointer move in perfect relationship to the dial face, the information on the dial face. It's really got this one bent out. This is wow. So what that does, that's just a way of reducing the capacitance of this capacitor. You're just basically pushing one plate out. And you see the split in the plate? This is to allow you to do this bending thing in different ways and different places along the dial, basically, is what's happening. I guess if you can't get enough off, on one side, then you can go to the other side and start bending that one out too. Now, is that caught? Sometimes when you bend part out, you accidentally bend part in. Now, if this was done in the factory, that's not likely to have happened. So the plates all seem equidistant. I'm looking very carefully. The short circuit occurs in this range here. Okay, we're going to take a closer look at them in a moment. Let's go over to this side. And again, we're looking at the outside plate. So one of these is the oscillator, and the other one is a tuning adjustment, or I shouldn't really put it that way. This is an RF tuning. So these plates look perfectly straight. These look. So my guess is the other one is the oscillator, and I don't think you'd bother bending the non-oscillator plates. So again, they all look straight. what can happen here is people reach in and bang into the capacitor with a hand or a tool, don't know it, and they'll push the outside plates inward. That's what I'm looking for. I don't see any evidence of that at all. Now let's try to look for those contacts I was talking about. So they're not there. This is where so I think we're looking right at a contact. You see the shaft turning, and then there's this part there. It's dripping with fluid that I sprayed in here. You can see the amount of dirt though that's there. So that is probably the problem. That is probably not pushing hard enough, and the metal itself is probably too much goop on it. Now there might be one at the other end. Okay, so here's a different style at this end. So this is like a 2-finger fork. It's riveted down low here. You can see the rivet, and it comes up, and it's flexing or bending against the end of the shaft. And again, I guessed it was there, and I hit it with the fluid, but look, it doesn't seem to be pushed up against the end of it. It seems to be not really making contact there. The manufacturers of these capacitors tend to put as many of these in as they can get away with. So it's usually one at the ends. This one's a little unusual. I've never seen one quite like that. But then often right in the middle here. But I see there isn't one in the middle. They've done nothing in the middle here. Okay, so it's all up to these two ends. Now, when spraying metal, how can you restore the springiness of this? Wow, you can try bending it way down here. I don't have any other way of doing it. It's pretty difficult to get this to spring back. And this one, same thing. I mean, how can you make it contact better? Clean that metal off. I think that's probably my best approach there, is to clean off the metal. And hope that does something. How am I going to clean that off? How am I going to clean that off? I think basically a lot of fluid and then mopping it up repeatedly. And maybe fooling around with one of these guys in there. Trying to get some of the strings in there. This material can come off. Get in there. Closer look at it too. Let's take another look at it. See if it looks any cleaner. Looks good when you look from a distance. It's much better. But, do you think that thing's in contact with it? I don't think so. It looks like it's just off the surface. Interesting question is why would this only cause a problem at the low end? Okay, so we'll go to the high end here. What's the difference here? Does the shaft look any different? Cleaner or something? I don't think so. Still got gunk on it. And this end here, you can see more clearly now. The clip is supposed to be pushing against the end of the shaft, not sitting in the middle there. So I am going to try to spring that forward. And it's a good chance to just make the situation worse here. No guarantees at all. So I want to try to bend it down here. Doesn't seem to want to move up at the top. What's going on at the top? Okay, hold on, let me get a good shot here. Well, there's more to the story here. There's a shape in here. I'm watching a TV screen while I do this. It's really kind of difficult. There we go. Saw it move there. I'm trying to push it up against the end, but it doesn't want to go. So the shape I'm talking about is this. Hold on, let me get this set up. Can't hold this thing. It looks like two fingers, and then there's a rotating. The rotating part back here is a what's the word for that? Come on. It's a conical shape. Is that the right word? It's it's pointed at one end and gets wider as you go across, and that makes this finger, split finger thing, come across until it comes into contact, and then it can't move any further. And then, now that sounds like a real interesting way to achieve a long-lasting, high-quality contact. That's what that sounds like to me. So why not high quality anymore? Now maybe I'm wrong about this. Can I push it further? That's the key. See, I can't. Wow. Yes, I can. Wait a second now, what's going on here? Oh, so you can see that the part I was calling conical, which I don't think is conical now, that the fingers are split around, is not turning. Let me move this thing back and forth here. Is there any play in it? And there's a screw here, a locked screw that changes the pressure inside here, and you want enough pressure on the bearing that the capacitor doesn't move up or down or back or forth, but you don't want so much pressure. What if I just tighten that up a little wee bit? I just get just a little bit of a tightening, especially if I can find that it's loose. I don't see any play in it whatsoever. Then another thing is more cleaning in there. Okay, I'm going to use WD-40. No, you know what? First, I'm going to douse it with some alcohol. Yeah, let's get some alcohol going on here. Good old rubbing alcohol. Doesn't seem like the spring wants to go down any further, but I think it really should be in contact here. At the very end. Just doesn't want to get there. I'm forcing it there. It's just not going to stay. Okay, we're going to try the bending thing again, as risky as it is. Oops. I don't think I can get it over there. Because the problem is, if you want it to be laying up against this with pressure, then and you want to bend it in, you got to bend it further, and then let it come back. Because if you can only bend it as far as here, you'll never strain the metal down here and cause it to be in another position, which is why I'm trying to bend it way down low to strain the metal out. It's a little bit better, but unless it's in complete contact, what good is it? It's just a mile away. What can you do about this? And I twist it. I can't twist this. This is probably spring metal, which makes it even that much harder to... It's like something is keeping it away. You feel the strength of the spring, the springiness, spring strength test. Is it making contact at the bottom here? Maybe it's making contact at the bottom. Come on. Hold still, camera. See my frustration level starting to build. Right at the bottom. Did we get anywhere? Have we done any good here? Nothing looks any different. So because that centerpiece is not spinning, it's not grinding against the spring contact, and we're really kind of relying on the end contact, like the bearing. That's the word I want to use. Why don't we try tightening this? Maybe I can tighten this without even loosening the nut. We're talking about fractions of a fraction here. Tell me my screwdriver doesn't fit. Huh. Okay, well, a little screwdriver. Yeah, because you're not normally applying huge torques to this thing. You're actually doing the opposite. Come on, go in there. Now, this is a crummy screwdriver. Does it turn off? Probably won't turn. Here we go. That sound you hear is my hand slipping on the screwdriver. I don't think I turned it one iota. I have to loosen this off, and the whole thing gets a little questionable after that. If you loosen this off, and I don't even know I'm going to achieve anything, and I just realized I got a container of alcohol right where I'm going to knock it over. Move that, or it's too late. So what I was going to do is just tighten this up, put more pressure in there. Check to see if it's loose. I really can't. That's my only option, I think. Maybe I should test the radio at this point and see if something has happened, because maybe it's all fixed up now with all this craziness. Yeah, I should check it. Okay, I'm going to check the radio and see what it does before maybe I'm there. Maybe I'm done. Okay, let's give it a go here. We'll see what we get. I still have it connected to the signal generator, which is still running. Whew. Turn the volume down there. Well, it's much better. What was that big chunk? That's interesting. One spot. What's going on right in there? Anywhere else? Well, just one spot now. Oop, another spot. One spot. Well, I don't know what we might see, but let's take a look and see if we can possibly see something here at this point. So that crackle you just heard, that was me just touching the Just touching this. I've run into this situation before. See, I'm grabbing the knob. So I'm holding the metal knob, and now I'm grinding it on the chassis. Let's go up here. No, that can't be the problem because they've tuned to another spot. So sometimes you see where it's going through the chassis. Sometimes that'll cause similar problems, but this is really related to the capacitor because it's in a certain spot. Right here. Okay, so it's not that. It's not that. It's this. Okay, what's under that little tab? You can actually see the scratch marks or the where it's contacting the. Whoops. Okay, the problem is right in this area here. See something there? So it looks like there's just, as you would imagine, one point of contact. And you can kind of see a track where it's scratching, or it just appears to be in contact all the way. Where'd the noise go? We didn't hear it that time. Okay, you know what? We'll put it in the noisy spot, and I'm going to touch that. Why is this thing become so crazy noisy down here? That's suspicious. Okay, I'm going to hose this, where the hose it. I'm going to hose it. Let's hose it. I'm going to hose it here with some WD-40. This is a bit of a long shot. It's good to lubricate these things anyway. Come have a look here. This is just a little more complicated than you might imagine. So you can see it going into the, you can't see a thing. You can see it now. Kind of see it going into the chassis there. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this. Don't get on string. Just the tiniest amount. I don't think anything came out yet. There, that definitely came out. Making no difference. Okay. And then usually the set's operating here, so I'm a little anxious to pick it up. I'm going to show you that there'll be an extension, like a sleeve coming back, and the shaft is going through the sleeve, and this in here requires lubrication quite often underneath the chassis here. So let me just get it up here and take a peek. Yikes. I don't like doing this with operating radios, and this is one of my rules I'm breaking right now. So break the rule. I think I can see lubrication sticking out the back here as it is. Come on. Ah, there we go. So the thing is, WD-40s. The spray thing's stupid. Just start pushing the button down, but the hose goes down. So you can't aim this stuff. Yeah, life is tough. So that has not affected the, or has it? I don't think it's affected it. So we're still looking for something going on in here. Okay, so we'll put it in the sensitive spot. Wow. How am I going to identify that? Contact piece. Huh. Boy, oh boy. I've definitely got the problem here, but I don't have the solution. Did I put WD-40 on these? Come on. Ah, there we go. WD-40 is an oil, and you might say, well, for crying out loud, you're not going to oil this problem away. But it does at times seem to really solve this kind of stuff. What if it has to do with this wheel? And it's making and breaking its own contact here too. The wheel? Really? Well, so there's a metal bracket coming up here. And then there's a shaft going through this piece here. Oil her up, baby. Whereabouts? Right in here, there seems to be a spring-loaded. Seems like a spring-loaded. Well, it's this. I don't know what you call these things. This kind of flexible joint here that they've made. Pretty complicated situation. Get in there. At first, I thought I got it there for a second. You touch anything. The reason I suspected this wheel is because the control here is connected to it with the string. Look, even that. Come on, who's doing this? Who's doing this? Yeah, problem is anything at all. See, it'd be a really bad problem if one of these gives up. Let's say these are the only two contacts here, which I don't think they are, but let's say they are. And one of them gives up and no longer makes a contact. You're totally reliant on one contact. What are the chances that it's going to maintain 100% contact through the whole rotation? Probably not very high. Maybe when it's new, yeah, but later, not very high, which is why you need so many different contacts, because over time they're going to get spots. If you have only one contact working and it has a spot, bingo. You get this thing happening. Okay, so that would mean if I push this, if this is the contact not working and I push it in, then it'd be goodbye to the noise. Pushing pretty hard here. Didn't do a thing. Okay, so what about this one? So if I push this one in and make it contact, not doing a thing. Okay, another possibility is there's something in between these plates. One of the things that can happen is you can grow these dendritic growths. I guess dendritic might not be quite the right word for it. Tin-plated things can develop tin whiskers, I think is the word that's commonly used. I had a capacitor in here just a while ago and it was whiskered up. Something terrible. And I had to, what I did, I ran paper, I think, between all the plates to kind of knock out the stuff. I don't see any whiskers here at all. There's some dust in there, but, well, I don't know. The whiskers, it could be, you know. Well, with the complete lack of alternate things, I am going to do that. I'm going to try to clean this. Basically take a piece of paper and try to run it. Run it between the plates. Like so. That's what I'm... Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. Here's what I'm doing. Okay, just running a piece of paper through the plates. And we're just going to work our way through them all. And I won't make you watch this because it's going to be a slow go. And we'll see if that has some kind of beneficial effect. Okay, so I've done this one, and just a little bit of dirt came out of it. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'll do the other one. We'll see what happens. Okay, I've done the other one. Now, if it were like a dirt or some kind of growth inside here, I think we'd hear scratchiness in lots of different places, and it wouldn't be so one spot only. One spot only. So what is going on at this spot? Barely moving this capacitor here. Okay, we're right in the sensitive area. Whoa. What did I hit there? Touched it in here. That was odd. That was very odd. That sounded almost like a screaming oscillation took place there. It's not that wire. Not in here. Hold your ears. Let me just turn this down a little bit. This outside plate. Very, very sensitive. Put the one right next to it. No. What's going on with this outside plate? Sometimes when they bend these out, for some reason the back corner will come in a little bit. I wonder if that's what it is. This would come into contact. It's hard to see, but when this gets down this point here, just starts going in right about there. Huh. Maybe it's just this point here. Let's take a look at it. I found this before, but wow, so it certainly doesn't look like it's bent in at all. I'm looking right at this point here. Right here. But this one, I'm going to push this out a little bit. Well, okay, a little bit. That's a little much. Well, that'll make the difference if there's something going on. Okay, here we go. That was it. That was the spot. That's all it was. All that time. Okay, good show. It was quite a tour around everything that can go wrong with a capacitor. Well, not everything, but and in the end, it was the simplest thing of all. Okay, that's good though. Got rid of that. Okay, break time, and then it's time to. I gotta let this guy sit for a bit. Time to finish the alignment effort. Okay, here we go. So we're tuned to 600. Just make sure it's right on. 600. Okay, the actual frequency that the radio is receiving is 87. Screwdriver. Paper. So we're now doing the 600, third one down. 600, third one down. Okay. Break it free first. There we go. Now, we want to move this where we want to go. And then try to bring it back. Go. Bring it back. Didn't come back very loud. But I think that's because of other adjustments that are coming next. So antenna alignment, third one, done at 1600, but let's see what happens at 600 here just for now. So second one up, because we seem to have lost signal strength here. Second one up. This one. Okay, what's it do? Yeah. Okay, so that's good at 600. It's important the radio receives strongly down here because this is where the local stations are that people will listen to in the Toronto area or in Ontario here. Not so much up here. Okay, so we should go up to the top here. It's that pointer is scratching the back. We'll go up to 1600, where it said. I also think the needle's on an angle. 1600. Barely hear it. Frequency's good. Okay, and this was the second one. This is the frequency you're supposed to adjust it at. Let's see what happens. What's the matter here? Oh, there we go. So you say, so I'm going to compromise position. Would be something like that. I believe. Okay, so that would be it. Let's put on the antenna. And we'll see what's really going on here. How good did we do? So we'll go down here. Gotta get that pointer off the back of the glass. Do not want it going back and forth on the back of the glass. 680.
Yes, and he is
Perfect.
and thought his
640.
exchange was certainly interesting on, his
610.
to have fun.
590.
Welcome everyone to our range. You don't have to be a veteran to join.
Buffalo. Very good. I think that's good. Very good. And as for doing the shortwave band, the shortwave band's operating okay. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. The main thing is to make this broadcast band work well. Shortwave band is working. Never get it so accurate anyway that you can dial up a frequency. It's just kind of a rough guide, in fact, for the shortwave band where you're tuning. It's a rough guide. Okay, I think I'm done. Finished this guy. He's all done. I managed to clean the cabinet a little bit yesterday, just with some water. Nothing, no soap, no nothing. Just water to get the dust off, and it looks good. It actually does have a nice look to it. Kind of a simple sort of radio. Very good. Well, thanks a lot for watching the series. Next radio that's coming in here is another very interesting looking AM radio, a real looker, and we don't know if it works at all, works perfectly, or doesn't work in the least. We don't know. So, thanks a lot for watching the series on this one, and see you on the next video. Bye.